Installing Wine on CentOS 7 from source code.
Hello gang, this is Anthony Radzikavich with Gateway Community College. Today we're going to cover how to install Wine on CentOS 7. So the first thing that we're going to do is log in. I just locked my machine to prepare a little bit here because if you do type this it will be quite a bit of typing. So I do suggest you just do a copy paste and let's get this going. Alright, so as I said before, I have prepared a little bit of what we're going to be doing and all of our dependencies here. As you can see, there's quite a few of them to do. First thing that we're going to do is we want to go into the user that we want to put this on, and I'm just going to put it on my normal Tux user here. Then we need to download the tar.bz file and then extract that. Then, of course, like I mentioned, we have to take care of all of these dependencies. So this is really where your typing is going to come in, or, like I suggested, copy-paste. Then we'll have to do some configurations for Wine64 and Wine32. And in order to do that, we're going to make two separate directories as indicated here. Now, we will get to that in just a moment. So, first thing that we want to do is click on Applications. We're going to open up our terminal. Alright, once you have your terminal open, go ahead and switch users immediately to the root user. Type in your root user password. And I'll just clear this out. Okay, so what we're going to do, like I said, I'm just going to change my directory to my Tux user to download the file and get it installed. So, cd home tux, enter. And then we're going to use the wget command, and as I mentioned, just copy and paste this command. Now, the location of this is cityland.dl.sourceforge.net project wine source wine-1.7.9 tar.bz2. Oops. Go ahead and use that, and in order to paste it in the terminal, push Control-Shift-V. Go ahead and press enter, and your download will start. So just wait for this to be completed. It shouldn't take too terribly long. And now that that's finished, we're going to go ahead and extract that file. So just to see where that file's at, you can type the ls command. You see that the file is downloaded. And I'm going to use the tar command to uncompress it here. So tar-xvf and then wine, push tab to autocomplete, press enter. Alright, now that that's all extracted, we can type the ls command and note that there is another directory in there. However, before we start dealing with that directory, we're going to want to install all these dependencies, all these libraries that are required for the system. So, just copy yum-y for yes for all, install libtextcat-devel and freetype-devel. So again, just Control-C, switch back to your terminal, Control-Shift-V, and press enter. Now if you have any problems with your yum package configurations or your repositories, which I have had that before, just pay attention to what the output is telling you, because it will normally tell you, hey, look, this repository is giving us issues. You can disable it, you can remove it, you can do this other thing that we don't suggest, but you could, to resolve the issue. Otherwise, Yum will just cease working. It won't work anymore. So once you disable the questionable package, or you take care of that issue, yum will be down, so make sure you get that addressed as well. Now, for this is a brand new install of CentOS 7, so I really have done nothing with it. This is the first thing that I'm doing, just to show that, no, I didn't install any other dependencies, and this process from the very beginning to the very end should get you squared away using Wine. Alright, now that the quick dependencies are installed, let's go ahead and go through this other monster list. So the second out of 3, I believe. So this one's a little smaller, but it's still quite large. Oops. Keep opening up one of my references here. Just close that out. There we go. There we are. Alright, so again, just press enter to let all of these packages install. Now don't be alarmed if not, all of them don't install, or rather, be alarmed if all of them don't install, but don't be alarmed if there are some missing, such as port audio or open all or LCMS, as you see. This will still work. You might not have audio with this. However, with the application that we are going to be using, which is Putty, we won't need any audio features. Okay, let's run through this third list here. Copy, Control-Shift-B. And this is the really long one that we got going on. Alright, now that that process is completed, we're going to move on to actually getting this put together. Now, if you thought that the wait was long on the other processes, you're going to be a little surprised with making the wine package here. So, I ask you to be very patient with this. Just give it quite a bit of time. Don't panic. I'm going to show you where to check certain things to make sure that it is actually happening, because instead of just running the make command, we're going to do a redirection and then make a make log for that. So the first thing that I want to do is make a directory called Wine64 and go to that. We're going to configure and enable Win64 for this process as well. So since we are in our tux directory, let's go ahead and pwd for present or print working directory, and as you see, we are in home tux, which is exactly where I want to be. Go ahead and make the directory Wine64. Press enter. If you ls that, you notice we now have Wine64, so go ahead and change the directory to that, and then there's nothing in here, of course. So we're going to run the configure command by going back one directory, going into our extracted folder there, and then typing configure. Now, this is the important part. Since we are on a 64-bit system, we need to enable Win64. So make sure you do that. Go ahead and press enter. You're going to see all of the stuff that's happening, the yeses and the nos, as it's configuring Wine with 64-bit capability. Alright, now that the configuration is complete, we are going to go ahead and run the make command. Now we're also, like I said, going to redirect this into a make log. So type make, the greater than symbol, make.log space 2 greater than the ampersand 1. Now this is a part where you might feel a little panicky, because this is the most time-consuming portion of this entire process. Go ahead and press enter, and seemingly nothing will happen. When I first did this, of course, with the redirection, we're not using the T command to do the output while doing this process. Everything that's supposed to be output on the screen is actually going directly to that log. So if I do want to check that, I can open up, there's another way to do that. I can open up another terminal, or open up a tab, then change my directory to wine64, enter, use the ls command, and you notice that make.log is there. If I type less make.log, you notice that yes, the make command is currently working. It is doing what it needs to do. Go ahead and quit out of that. I just wanted to show you that. Of course, it's just begun the process. When I was doing this before, it took me, I'd say, around a half hour without running video recording software. So, go ahead and watch a TV show, read a book, go deal with some other chores while this gets finished, and then just come back to the system later. And you will be good to go. With that, I'm just going to pause the video, and we will reconvene when this is finished. Okay, now that that is finished, we're going to go ahead and go back one directory, so cd ... We're going to make our other directory wine32. So we're going to cd into this directory, and we're going to configure it a little bit different than the last time. Whoops. But you'll see some similarities here. So go back a directory on the navigation, wine-1, push tab, and then configure. Now, instead of doing it how we did enable Win64, we're going to type with wine64, which is equal to going back one directory, the directory of wine64. Go ahead and press enter. And again, we're going to wait a little while for this to complete. Okay, now that the configuration is complete, we're going to do the same exact thing that we did before, and just repeat that make redirection to the make log 2 and 1. So go ahead and type in that command within this directory, and again, go do whatever you'd like. This probably will take about a half hour. It'll take the same time that the first one took. Alright, now that we have that finished, the last part of what we're going to be doing is we're going to have to make the install for both the Wine32 folder and the Wine64 folder. So what we're just going to do is we're just going to type make install, press enter, and again you're going to wait just a little bit of time. It won't be as much as the make command took, however, again, just be patient. Alright, and when that finishes, just make sure you change your directory, go back one into wine, wine64, press enter, and then again just do that make install. Press enter again. And this should take about the same amount of time. Once you're done with this, you should have Wine fully installed into your system. So we're going to download Putty, and we will get it, we'll get Putty to work with our CentOS 7. Okay, now that we have that completed, let's go ahead and download Putty. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to your Applications Firefox. And then just go ahead and go to google.com. Type in Putty, press enter, and you'll notice that the Putty download page is chiark.greenend.org, so on and so forth. Go ahead and click on that. Scroll down to where you see the binaries here. So we're just going to go ahead and download this putty.exe. Click on that. Save the file. OK. And this will save in the currently logged in user's download file, as you can see here. So if we go back to the command prompt, there we are. I'm going to go ahead and change the directory to home, oops, tux, downloads, enter, list everything in this directory. There's only the one thing. And then I'm going to type in wine putty.exe. Press enter. You can go ahead and install the Wine Mono installer. Okay, and after that you could also install the Gecko installer here. So I'll just go ahead and do that. And as you can see, finally Putty has come up. So thank you for watching the tutorial on how to install Wine into CentOS 7. Now, of course, I didn't get all of this information myself, all of these libraries and dependencies here, so I just really want to give a big shout out to Ivan. Really huge help here. I just went to stackoverflow.com, and for the most part, this did work, as you just witnessed. I did skip a couple things in his tutorial here, and I also did change to yes to all and yes to all on these two commands as well. Alright, thank you again for watching the tutorial. I hope that you found this useful. Please give a like or a share or subscribe, and just let me know what you'd like to see in the upcoming videos. And remember, happy Linuxing!